Alright, another successful mining trip. Now all I have to do is smelt up all the raw ore I've got. Anytime now. Anytime. Come on. Yeah, there's no way I'm waiting that long. Hello everyone, I'm the last Warden, and today I have a very simple design for a mini super smelter to share with you all today. That's great for the early game, or in case you're far away and just need to smelt a bunch of items quickly. The mini super smelter is designed for 1.19 and makes use of the new boat with chest item, which has a hitbox just big enough to sit on top of 8 hoppers at once. And this allows it to evenly distribute items between all hoppers. Now, some of you keen-eyed viewers might have noticed that the boat with chest is actually big enough to sit on top of 9 hoppers at the same time. But there's 2 main problems with this. First is that a stack in Minecraft is 64 items, and that just doesn't divide well by 9. The second problem, and more important one, is that when you have 9 furnaces like this, there's no way to get fuel to the center without manually placing it in. And that's just a bit too inconvenient for my liking. So I instead decided to do a design with only 8 furnaces. And here's the final design. It works by inputting the fuel in this bottom boat with chest right here. Then, in this top boat with chest, you input whatever you want to smelt, like this raw iron. And as long as there are multiple of 8, they'll all be evenly distributed to all the furnaces below. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you might recognize this design from an older Snapshot video. I've actually improved upon this design to come up with my new final design by 1, making it a little bit uglier and not as neat by spreading the furnaces out. But what this allows me to do is make it 1 block more compact than this design and use 4 less hoppers. So this design here only uses 36 hoppers, while this one used 40. Plus, as I mentioned before, it's 1 block taller. Here, it's 1 block shorter, and you can technically reach the top boat without needing to use a ladder, though I'd still recommend it. And as we can see, all the furnaces are smelting the items, and this is definitely 8 times faster than a regular furnace, which is of course how the math works out. Now, this super smelter design does have 2 main issues, though both of them do have workarounds. The first is that this design is meant to work with item quantities that are divisible by 8. Right here in my inventory, I have 36 pork chops and 24 oak planks. Since a plank smelts 1.5 items, in a normal furnace, this would perfectly smelt out, giving you 36 cooked pork chops. But if I input them 9 at a time, the way the hoppers will distribute the items won't be even. See, this furnace here will get 8, and this one will get 4. So when I put the fuel in, they're not going to all be smelted up, and you'll just have pork chops remaining in this furnace. Unfortunately, this isn't as easy as it might seem to be worked around, because whichever hopper has priority is location dependent, and it's not even the same for the top row and the bottom row. This means you'll just have to stick to either adding in only stacks of items that are divisible by 8, or you can check the furnaces every now and then to make sure that there's not an excess of items building up. There is one more solution though that will just completely eliminate this problem. And that solution is to make sure that the furnaces always have a full supply of fuel. One way to do that is just have your fuel in the furnace like this, then in this hopper back here, place in 4 items that cannot be used as fuel, which range from anything from bones, to dirt, to bone meal, to just about any other random item, just as long as it can't be used as fuel. Then put in a stack of fuel here, and then this boat with chest right here, just place in whatever fuel you want. It doesn't even have to be the same type of fuel. And now, whenever you put in a weird number of items, they'll always still be smelted up. Just make sure to check back at this boat with chest every now and again, just to make sure it hasn't run out of fuel. Switching to the other issue, it's that you have to be holding shift when accessing the boats with chest. If you're not, you'll hop into the boat with chest. which can cause some issues, especially for this lower one where you're stuck in this small space and might accidentally nudge it out of place. And that's not good. Now, there is a very easy fix to this. When you put down your boat with chest, just nudge a mob into it. Now, you can access that boat with chest without having to hold shift, and you're not going to jump inside, because the mob will take up the only empty seat in the boat with chest. And here's what that quick fix looks like. I got a pig down here, and a cow up here, and I can access both boats with chests without needing to hold shift. Just one small point I should make. Down here, where the pig is, you're going to have to use a small mob, like a pig, fox, rabbit, bee. Anything from a sheep or bigger is too much to fit in the gap. Though up here you can use the bigger mobs. Just don't use chickens. They will lay eggs that'll clog up your hoppers. Alright, now it's time to start with the tutorial. Here are the materials you'll need. 8 furnaces, 36 hoppers, 2 chests, 8 barrels, though in reality these 8 barrels can just be 8 more chests. 4 composters, these aren't really needed, they'll just prevent extra items from falling in your hoppers, but you can do without them. 2 blocks of your choice, the 2 boats with chests, and finally 2 mobs if you want them. So, to start off, you want to place down your chest, put 3 hoppers going this way, and then 4 going backwards like this. Put 2 more here, 3 more here. Then on top of this hopper, place a furnace. On top of these 3, place furnaces. And on this back hopper here, place a furnace. And just mirror this side with 3 more furnaces. And connect hoppers to the sides of all your furnaces. In the center, place your block and your first boat with chest. Make sure it's nice and centerized so the hitbox of the boat with chest is above all 8 hoppers. And if you want, you can just push in a mob just to make it easier to access that boat. On top of each of these furnaces, place a hopper like this. Then put a barrel on top. Doesn't matter the orientation. Then place hoppers connecting to the barrels. Like before, we'll put a block in the center, the boat with chest. Make sure it's aligned on top of all 8 hoppers, and if you want, put the mob in. The 4 composters will just go down here, and over here. And that's it! Finally, you can add in some ladders or some scaffolding just to make it easier to reach the top boat with chest, but other than that, you're finished. And with that tutorial finished, that's all I've got for now. So thank you all so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye